Riveting content. Empowering your life. Welcome to the Sphere. This episode is sponsored by
Sphere Exclusives. Looking for exclusive content from your favorite podcasts here at the Sphere? Head over to sphere.tv/Patreon and sign up today. Lady Ari Natural Hair Care. Lady Ari Natural Hair Care has been a prime destination for catering to naturally kinky hair in Houston, Texas. Give the experts a call today at area code 832-265-3792 or book online at ladyari.com.
Houston Housewives of Finance. For more information on increasing your cash flow, becoming your own money manager, and to schedule your complimentary personal finance strategy, contact the Houston Housewives of Finance today at 1-844-700-4463.
Hello, good peoples, and welcome back to Intermission. I am your host, Jarvis Ziggy Newsome. You can find me on Instagram at Ziggy the Lionhearted. Oh, that looks great. And with me is my co-host, the effervescent Earlene.
Hello, hello. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter as Elise Main. So look me up, follow me. I have good stuff on my stuff.
And I will not do any soul food jokes today.
Such an ass. No. Started before we even started.
Not on show.
Anywho, welcome. Thank you for joining in. We love you all.
So what's been up?
Nothing much. It's just been a long...
This has been a slow weekend.
It's been a slow week, but a long... I've had so much stuff to do work-wise and just the cold. Yeah. It's been... And this traffic and all this stuff going on has been rather draining for me. But it's been a good week.
The thing is, I try to tell Houstonians that it's not just Texas that does this.
It's everywhere.
Yeah,
it's everywhere.
Seriously, Cincinnati. I have a friend who's in Cincinnati. Mm-hmm. And with the recent one, they went from 72 degrees to 26.
That's crazy.
I'm like, you all don't have temperature changes like this.
That's crazy. Yeah. But I've been good. How you been?
I've been all right. Slow motion, just taking it easy.
Slow motion, baby. Yeah. Slow motion, baby. All right. We've missed you. We had a good show.
Really?
Yeah. I'm just saying that'd be nice. I'm just joking. I'm just joking.
I know.
Because you've been trolling me for the longest with the soul food thing. So, I mean, whatever.
I don't troll you.
Whatever.
I think your lipstick matches my shirt.
It does? Oh, we coordinating halfway? Oh, what? I had to throw it on. I had to throw it on. I don't wear makeup to work.
I do a shirt on because I got to do the Patreon after this. Well, we're doing it.
We're going to do it.
Yeah.
I'm going to debate everything you put up.
But, no, you're not. This is the shirt that I wore when I proposed to my wife.
Oh, now that's awesome.
So, since it's sort of the Valentine's Day show. So
it is. I should have wore like red or something, right?
No, you shouldn't.
Anyway.
This ain't even red.
It's not. It's burgundy.
Why?
But anyway.
But
so what do we have today for the lovely viewers?
Well, I mean,
listeners?
There's been a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah, a lot of stuff. Good stuff.
One thing y'all didn't know is August 2020 coming to America too.
I'm not happy about it.
I actually am because it's still Eddie Murphy, and I think from what I'm understanding, it's his son who comes to America.
Listen, the thing about it is this. And not knowing where they're going with it, I didn't know it was going to be his son. That's fine.
That's the rumor that they had.
And that's great. But the thing is, with the sensitivity of people in comedy, back then, comedy was satire. Comedy was making fun of things. He can play multiple characters back then and not get said, you're doing this, doing that.
Right.
I just wonder, how are you going to bring what we loved about coming to America, which was all that type of crazy characters him and Arsenio played. He played a Jewish man. He played a woman. All these things. And then making fun of the culture in a way, but not in a way celebrating it, but you're making fun of it to 2019, 2020.
Well,
someone's going to be upset with something.
That's always going to be someone upset. There was people upset with the original one.
But not as much, though.
And that's the thing with Coming to America. Out of all his properties, that's probably the safest one that he can do a sequel with. Just like there's the Boomerang series. On
I'm not
BET.
watching that.
I'm not either because one, he has nothing to do with this.
Yeah, I'm not watching
Halle
that.
Berry is the executive producer, which one, she's not that great of an actress in my opinion.
Hey,
she's
don't,
good.
Don't knock her.
She's good, but
Don't
she's
knock
not, she's
her.
not that great. Let's just be
Don't
honest.
knock her.
Let's just be
Don't
honest.
knock her though. They had to bring someone back to make it to just to.
But she's executive producer of it, like, and she had no input on the original.
Okay, yeah, you're right. You're right.
Like, so for
You're
her
right.
to be,
I'm just tired of remakes and all. I'm just
I don't
tired
mind
of it.
continuation if it's done properly. Like Blade Runner 2049, I love that movie,
Yeah, yeah.
and it was done in a good way.
Thank you. I see. This is the thing though with Blade Runner. I appreciate it because I went back and watched the original again just
Right.
to get
Well, I watched it the other night.
right, and you had some people on your post who didn't
Right.
like the first one,
Right.
But it was way ahead of its time, I feel, and I think when you go back and watch the first one and then watch the new one,
Right.
it just makes total sense.
It makes total sense.
It makes total sense.
The reason a lot of people don't like Blade Runner is the pacing, but you need the slow pacing.
you have to have that
for
for
Blade
that.
Runner.
You have to.
Like, not all movies need a fantastic pace or a speedy pace.
And that's the problem. People now want things to just go with
Right.
no development, and that story is developed.
Right.
And I really, really enjoy it. But I'm not watching Boomerang. I'm worried about
I'm not worried.
coming to America.
I'm not worried about it
I am.
because, like I said, it still has Eddie Murphy as the brain of this project.
Someone's going to say he ain't African and he should be playing the daddy. I'm telling you.
Who's
Because you have a whole generation of people who really probably have never seen it,
Right.
don't understand the love that we have for the movie, and to understand where they're coming from with
Right.
it.
Neither is Chadwick Boseman.
No, he's not. And I think people had issue with that as well. I mean,
Barely.
Because they're so happy about Black Panther.
Like I said, certain
Selective outrage, like
certain stuff
PD
is-
says, selective
yeah.
outrage,
And-
on things.
Eddie Murphy he's like one of the holy grail guys of comedy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So he probably doesn't even have to play all these characters anymore. He can probably get people to come in and play these characters. Instead of the Jewish guy, we may get Jerry Seinfeld in a barbershop.
That'd be hilarious.
Imagine
That'd be hilarious.
He could probably get Jerry Seinfeld
Yeah,
and
that'd be
Chris
hilarious.
Rock into the barbershop.
That would be hilarious.
Mighty fine.
Yeah, that would be hilarious.
So,
I hope people are just open their minds up to what comedy, what it really is, and I don't know.
I think we will.
I don't know.
I think it will.
I don't know.
I'm
And
just
some
glad
of
it's
our
not-
viewers agree. They're tired of the remakes.
I'm tired of
and
remakes.
They're scared of Coming to America.
I don't
coming out.
mind continuations though, and Come to America is a continuation. Or the Boomerang is supposedly a
I'm
continuation.
not watching that foolishness. Some things are just good where they are. And leave it where it is.
Because I think they said the main focus is Marcus and someone's child.
No.
So I was like, yeah.
If
I'm
you
good.
don't have Eartha Kitt and you don't
Well,
have Grace Jones, I don't want to see Boomerang.
Well,
I'm sorry.
We had a offshoot conversation, and this might be one we put on Patreon that y'all might want to check out.
Mm-hmm.
Is if we want to redo Boomerang with a cast of today, how would you do it?
Let me tell you why you can't redo Boomerang in 2019.
Well, certain people can't be replaced.
Not just that, the subject matter.
Well,
You can't, because you're gonna have somebody me tooing or he tooing, and why is it you have a black woman being used and mistreated, and why he got to be? It's going to be a problem because you can't do it.
right, everybody.
Because everyone has an issue right now. I'm not saying they shouldn't have an issue. Don't come attacking me. But what I'm saying is they're not going to accept it for what it was. He was a player. He had a slew of women. He fell in love. You do that now. Oh, then why he
Here's a
got to
player
be
who
mistreated?
has little women, finds a woman that he wants and gets played. When the player gets played,
Well, he
that's Boomerang.
got
basically.
played by a female player.
Right.
But then
When the player
then
gets played,
she was on. Robin Gibbons was then what you had being Mary Jane. That show was just doing her own thing sexually and empowered. That was like, oh my gosh, she's empowered back
I
then.
always wonder why Robin Givens. I never
Because she was the hot black
never
actress
liked-
at the time. Think about who you had back then. They wanted the hot ticket at the time. That's who she was. She was just divorced from Mike Tyson. Halle Berry was just kind of sort of finding her way, but she still had the girl next door kind of feel about her. Robin was a sex symbol back then. You couldn't have Whitney Houston because she was too deep in her drugs at the time, because they probably would have had Whitney Houston. Think about it. You know what I'm saying? It's true.
I would have read that.
You know, so I mean,
Put a little coke
they
on the
did
table
then
or
what they do
something.
now. Who's the hot ticket to put in the movie? and Robin Givens. That's why.
Yeah.
Her non-acting ass.
Right, like I've never been a fan of Robin.
She looks amazing right now. She's beautiful, but she can't act.
She was always too.
She was only good in head of the class. That's it.
Like I don't mind. Some women are slim and petite, but she had a huge head compared to her body.
She still has a huge head. It didn't shrink. Emo
body got more head than she got body. I mean, that was Robin Givens. So. I mean, that was that.
Oh my god!
But I'm not nervous, but I'm gonna be more excited when I see the casting for this next.
I'm telling you, it's gonna be some crap shit.
I don't, because I'm telling you,
mark my words. At 7 p.m. on February
you gonna see
13th, and I'm like, I told y'all some crap shit.
And you gonna see that trailer and be like, all right, I may have
crap
to check it.
Shit.
All right, I guess if Charles was right about this, he might be right about soul food.
Oh, whatever.
And with that, we're going to go to the first ad of the show, which is that this portion of the show is sponsored by the Sphere exclusive team. Looking for exclusive content that you can't find anywhere else? Look no further than our Sphere exclusives found on Patreon. We've got behind-the-scenes shots happening daily at the Sphere Podcast Studios. Each show in the podcast network creates episodes that are only delivered to Patreon subscribers. Plus, we deliver the show live from start to finish in our Discord server that's exclusive to our Patreon family. Sign up today at www.thesphere.tv/Patreon to join our $2, $5, or $8 Patreon tier and get access to all of the exclusive content we offer at The Sphere. Okay, I'm sorry. That was my first time seeing this one. There's some typos.
But besides Boomerang and the foolishness.
Congratulations to Black Panther for winning a Grammy.
Awesome. Oh, they won? I don't watch. I can't.
I don't watch it, but I do know Black Panther won a Grammy. For
let me say this, and y'all can attack me all you want to. We can't win everything, y'all.
We can't.
We can't. You can't.
We can't. I don't
there
want to.
There are so much great work out in 2018. I'm not going to say musically. But in other areas.
Musically, there's a lot.
Yeah, but I'm just saying you can't think we're going to win. I'm just dropping keys. Okay. Anyway, we're not going to win everything.
We're not.
Every movie that is, has some color to it can't win everything. I'm sorry.
Although I will say, like I said, it's nominated for Best Picture. I wish if Beale Street could talk.
I want that to win.
Best Picture. At least nominated. It should have been nominated.
That was a very good movie.
I don't think Black Panther should have been nominated.
That was a very good movie. I think it was released maybe too late in the year to build real traction by viewers.
I think so.
Because when you see If Beale Street Can Talk, it was one of my top 10 movies for 2018. Yeah. Not particular order. It's a very good movie. But I'm glad Regina King was nominated for so many awards and getting recognition for her acting talent, especially for that movie.
Well, I mean, she's won a couple of before.
But nominated for an Oscar. I mean, this thing is that she's
got an Emmy.
But I mean, she's nominated now for the Oscar as well. What I'm saying though is like, come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
She's got. But heck, Angela ain't got nothing yet.
Well, she should have.
Right.
She should have won for What's Love Got to Do with it.
Exactly.
I mean, when's her day coming?
I don't know.
But she's not worried about it because she's fine.
She's not.
What? She's fine.
Everyone else playing senior citizen. She's playing like seriously.
I mean, my hip hurting. Hers is looking great. I'm mad about it.
I mean, also one of my favorite shows that I used to bring up here on the show was Into the Badlands on AMC.
Mm-hmm.
It's coming back for its second half of the third season in March, and that's it. AMC has actually canceled the show.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and it was good. It was actually a pretty good narrative. If you're squeamish, this ain't the show for you.
Okay, real sidebar. So someone is saying, Keenan, one of our viewers is saying that for Boomerang, the girl is Marcus and Angela's daughter, and her love interest is Jacqueline's son. That's some crazy stuff right there. See, I can't watch it. I'm not gonna watch that.
That's too
I'm
close.
I'm not gonna watch that. That's some foolishness.
I mean, the only way I can see that is they grew up with each other.
I'm not watching that.
And I can't see that.
I'm not watching that at all.
Yeah.
But Netflix is doing big things.
Yes,
traumatizing people with their documentaries.
Yes, they are.
So we're going to talk about Fyre.
Let's talk about Fyre.
Because you haven't seen the documentary.
I only got to see one that we was going to talk about, but they're known for documentaries. Like, we can talk about so many of their documentaries.
So the Fyre Festival documentary is hilarious and interesting and sad all wrapped into one.
All I know is that there was one guy who was willing to take one for the team.
Yeah, and yeah. So there's this young guy, I want to say, and no one talks about how Ja Rule was in on this as well.
Oh,
and he hasn't had anything happen to him yet. He started a whole nother talent company called, I want to say, Econ or something like that. So this guy who is a wheeling dealer, investment person, known very well, says he buys this island outside of the Bahamas somewhere, and it was owned by not Capone, some mafia guy. He buys the island. He wants to throw a festival on the island, which the island can only hold 1,000 people easy with comfort. There's nothing on the island, nothing built, nothing on the island.
Right.
And he brings out influencers from social media, models. He gets Ja Rule in on this whole situation and sells this music fest. It's going to happen in April of 2017.
Right. I remember when it all went down.
And literally collected millions from people. You'll get a villa for this price. You'll get this cabin for this price. You'll get this and that.
You get to rent a yacht.
You can rent a yacht. You can live on this. All these things is what he's selling.
Right.
And he has all this team, and they're selling it for him. And people are buying tickets to go. And then he sells his wristband to load more money for excursions, all this stuff. And he's getting investors who are giving him millions of dollars. American Express, millions of dollars. Ja Rule's backing him. They're going here doing this, having models. Even Kendall Jenner, he pays Kendall Jenner $250,000 to just make one tweet or one post talking about Fyre Festival. It's going to be awesome. And nothing happens.
Well, I remember when it all happened, because I remember seeing it on the news.
Yeah.
I remember seeing the sandwiches and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Before we continue on, let's all y'all on Facebook Live, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Clinton, Keenan, Kamisha, T-Dot, Derek, appreciate you joining us, man. Yeah. We appreciate you guys.
We love y'all.
But I remember when all that happened, I was just like,
I never heard of it until the whole fiasco happened, because clearly, I didn't hear anything about it.
I didn't.
So
you can go ahead and speak up. Yeah.
Did you do the Facebook again?
Oh no, I didn't.
Wow.
Oh.
Look at you.
We can just cut it and
Oh, are we done?
Have we cut it yet? Oh, we're still on Facebook Live.
Good stuff. Go ahead.
Y'all gotta forgive us. We're working with a new studio and stuff like that. We're working with some new formats.
Jarvis just crazy. Go ahead.
That too. But we are gonna be bringing an end to this Facebook Live portion. Because you know what? We were saving that part for after Facebook
We can
Live.
talk about it after. We can keep talking about it.
Yeah. But we ask that you subscribe on all major platforms. That is Google Play, iHeartRadio, iTunes, SoundCloud, Spotify, Spreaker, Stitcher, and YouTube. Also here at the show at www.thesphere.tv. You can check out audio or video episodes as well. Make sure you subscribe. If you're on iTunes, give us a little criticism over there. Let us know what you think. Give us some criticism. Not on this episode, but any other one.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
We love feedback.
Yeah.
Give us feedback.
Yeah.
Positive
all you guys
or
on
negative.
Facebook, share this. We appreciate it.
Please share the post. Yeah.
It helps us out. It helps us get this word out. Ashley Earline
What about me?
was originally a fan who always tuned in, who noticed as we shared it.
And they,
And
bamboozled me.
And she became a guest.
They bamboozled me.
Then she became a guest host. And then she became a host.
They bamboozled me.
It can happen to you. Yes, it can. And lastly, I think I mentioned this before, but we need money. I'm going to just say that. www.thesphere.tv/Patreon. You can do a one-time donation or you can go on subscription. We appreciate it. we want to do some more things. We weren't able to do much with you in 2018. We're going to change that in 2019, especially when this weather looks like it wants to
Act right.
not be the beast from Split.
Ooh.
That's what the weather is.
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
It's, you know, it's I got blue socks one day, then it's the beast. You know, that's what the weather is. So once it gets that straight, like, we're going to have some stuff planned for y'all, like the rooftop cinema. I want to do that with you guys. With some libations, probably.
Alcoholic.
No, alcoholics go to meetings. And that's going to
go to movies.
And that's going to, I go to movies for
Yeah.
alcohol. That's it. And that's going to do it for us here on Facebook Live. Yeah.
See y'all later.
Yeah.
So the Fyre Festival, it had mixed reviews of people actually caring what happened to these people, because basically it was a bunch of clear rich kids. Clear color.
Yakubian.
Yeah, okay.
I've learned that on Urban Dictionary.
Okay.
Yakubian. Yes.
And they had this money just to
and
do
Jesus
it.
Amaro.
This money just to throw at it. Yeah. The gentleman that was willing to take it for the team had been working with him for over 4 or 5 years and has seen him raise money, work a room. So he had trusted him. But there were so many people along the way like, this is not working out. What are you going to do? It's hard to throw a music fest and what you're trying to do. And folks who was against him, he's told them, you know what, you're not going to work on the festival. Don't worry about it.
I'm just trying to figure out that. And I'm going to watch it.
And he ran another scam when he got caught.
Yeah. I'm just trying to figure out, like, how do you get to the point where I'm going to help my buddy out by sucking a dick?
This is the thing. He played.
I just want to see.
And when you watch the documentary,
because
a lot of people talk about there was like it was the water episode, because Avion Water, they had cases on containers for Avion Water, and Customs in Bahamas were holding it like, you got to pay for this. It's like $125,000 to get out of Customs. And so he hit him up. The guy, I can't remember his name right now. He says, hey, the guy's name is Billy, who ran the whole scam. He says, hey, you know, look, pretty much, I need you to use your homosexuality and get us out of this. Take it for the team. He's like, are you serious? And but the thing is, when he was willing to do it, that just tells you right there, in whatever industry they're working in, when it comes to getting things done, they do whatever they want to do. And it plays a lot into entertainment and advantage people get taken on.
They that you talked about?
What I mean in entertainment, just get things done. If for him to be willing to go do a sexual act with the immigration person at the airport, the guy says, no, just make sure when y'all done, I get my money first. He went back to the man's office at the airport, and he was like, no,
all right. I mean,
just make sure I get my money up front.
How did you think that was going to?
It was just a big scam. The guy, he got 6 years in jail.
Right.
Eventually, because he got arrested. And there's one gentleman who realized it was a scam long before it happened. He was like, he made a Twitter account saying, Fyre Festival is fake. This can't be real. Right. And he kept making tweets and posts. So he went out there and he realized it was fake. And he has a lawsuit against everyone. Even the influencers should get sued. How are you? Because now they're doing something in Congress where influencers need to put on their hashtag, like hashtag advertisement. Like you're advertising, not, hey, I'm going to, Fyre Fest is going to be a blast. 'Cause all the photos that they put up was the models out there with Ja Rule, just scouting location, just having a good time. And to me, Ja Rule is just as guilty as that dude what he did. He was like partnered with him, buddy. He knew that, because there's a meeting on tape saying, hey, the one guy says, look, it's straight up fraud, y'all. We didn't deliver. Ja Rule like, it's not fraud. It's just false advertisement. I'm telling you, Ja Rule is just as guilty, but that guy is getting the brunt of it. And there's 2 young men who are getting sued by American Express because they use their credit card to help him do something. And one was getting sued for $125,000. Other one's like $500,000 by American Express.
Wow.
So it's an interesting. And then when he got out on bail for $300,000, he's in a penthouse and had another crew come, like doing a semi-documentary. And he met this guy who's like 20-something years old named Frank, who was now emailing everyone who went to the Fyre Fest as if, hey, I'm NY VIP exclusive. I have great opportunity for tickets to go to the Met Ball. You can't get tickets to the Met Gala.
No, you have to be invited.
And it has to be approved by Annie Winter, whatever her name is. She has to approve every guest. So they were out there trying to gain more money, and somebody still sent that man money. He got like $100,000 off of people. So they arrested him again, and he got charged 5 counts of fraud on that. And so he's doing 6 years in jail right now. Ja Rule, nothing happened to him. He has his own, he opened a new talent company called Icon or Econ Talent. One guy had to...
How does Ja Rule get into talent? He barely had anything to begin with.
If you watch documentary, to me, Ja Rule is just as guilty as his Billy guy. Just as guilty.
Oh, I can believe it. I can believe it.
Just as guilty. The other documentary, though.
Abducted in Plain Sight.
That is...
All right,
disturbing.
let me say this, because I watched that one too.
It's disturbing.
It doesn't even disturb me that much, because anyone who's read the 48 Laws of Power or Sun Tzu's Art of War,
Yeah.
have heard and seen everything he did
Yeah.
in that book.
Yeah. You're right.
Like, he was a master manipulator.
Let me tell you something. That book's even banned in prisons. Anything by Robert Greene,
Yeah.
a lot of prisons are not allowing your family to send you that book.
Oh, wow. I didn't know
We
that.
can't even order it for our library longer because when people check it out, they don't bring it back.
No.
So anything by Robert Greene, we have it on a digital copy that you can download, but we're not doing that.
Update my library card.
Well, this portion of the show is brought to you by Lady RE Natural Hair Care. Have a kinky, curly style in mind? Lady RE Natural Hair Care has been prime destination for catering to naturally kinky hair in Houston, Texas, and beyond for over 5 years. Clients come from all over the world to receive the ultimate experience for their natural hair care needs. Lady RE Natural Hair Care has been featured on media outlets including Young Black Professional, Magazine, GMT Internet Radio, The Sphere, and more. Your unique vision can be brought to life complete with helpful tips for maintaining your hair. You'll walk into the salon with warmest of greetings, complimentary refreshments, and knowledgeable stylists to promote total beauty from inside and out. Our goal is unveil your natural kinks, one curl at a time. Give the expert a call today at 832-265-3792 or book online at www.ladyre.com. Let me go get my hair done.
I'm trying to play your theme song.
I can't stand you. I can't stand. I cannot stand him.
I was wondering if you was going to pick up what song that was.
I ignore you. I've learned to ignore you. Anyway, Abducted in Plain Sight.
All right, let's break it down for those who haven't seen it.
Netflix has some really good documentaries.
They always have.
They're only about an hour and a half long.
But I'll tell you who else has. Stars has a lot. If you have the Stars channel, go to their on demand. Mm-hmm. There's a lot. Who was it? Was it Netflix? No, it was Netflix. I saw 3 Identical Strangers.
You know who also has some good ones now too is Hulu.
Yeah. So I mean, I think it's always a good thing to see real life stories. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I think HBO. I saw Terror in the Mall. The terrorist taking Kenya Mall. Mm-hmm, yeah. Mm-hmm. But Abducted in Plain Sight. Basically, this man has this obsession with this 9-year-old girl. Mm-hmm. And pretty much kidnaps her right there in front of the family.
Yeah.
Twice.
Well, she was 9 when they met, and she was 12 when he took her.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
It takes place in the 70s.
Yes.
And they are Latter-day Saints community of people.
Right.
And so this gentleman, I can't remember his name. You probably remember better than
Bob
I do.
Bertram.
Yeah, Bertram. They call him B.
Yeah.
New to the town, new to the city, and they see him at church.
He has a family.
And he has a family, and it's actually like matched up husband, wife, kid. So everyone has like a bestie. They become friends. He's charismatic. The wife noticed him before the husband did.
Right. She knows him at church.
And she knows him at church. She's like, oh, he just seems charismatic. It's a nice family. And they're almost like neighbors in the neighborhood.
Right.
And so the wife and her become friends. Husband and him become friends. And all the kids have like a match of age.
It's like all the kids played with each other.
Playing with each other. They're doing, I'm taking the kids to school this morning. They're taking them this morning.
Right.
And they form the type of family unit kind of thing.
They start to form a community or a neighborhood, basically.
Mm-hmm.
But the other family, because their husband's name was Bob too.
So the new family, they called him B.
You're right, but the original family was Bob and
Mary Jane.
Mary Jane.
Yeah. Or Mary Ann. Mary Ann.
Mary Ann.
So Mary Ann and Bob are the older family in the community, and we'll call him B and his wife.
I think it was Julia.
I think Julia or something like that. They move into the town.
Yeah.
And he has a obsession with their oldest daughter,
Jan.
He calls her Dolly. He nicknamed her Dolly. And what's uncomfortable for me about this was very early on, he would take Jan, not all the kids, but he'll include Jan on family trips and outings, not the other kids.
Right.
And the families allowed it to happen.
Now, some stuff I can sort of see.
Let me tell you why I think it happened. And it was revealed because, one, the wife, Mary Ann, was in love with him.
Well, that was, like I said,
she already had an infatuation with him from jump.
We had to break this down because he did everything in such a calculating way. He knew immediately to keep isolating the wife. Start saying this around her, saying that around her.
Yeah,
oh,
he manipulated her.
He manipulated the wife first.
Mm-hmm.
He manipulated the husband.
Let me tell you how he manipulated the husband. So basically, you know how people know people? Okay? So basically, he already had a feeling that the wife was lacking something in their relationship because there's no way he lured her the way he did. Called her up. He had a wife. He has a wife at home. Right. He calls her, hey, Mary Jane, I'm hungry. Can you bring me a sandwich? And she brings it. He didn't call his wife. He called Mary Jane. Okay, I'll bring it. And it ended up being a daily thing. And so they get closer. He's telling her things she wants to hear, and she's accepting it. And it was
also, really, you got to remember, because she did break down this too. She's like, you got to remember, at this point, they've been married 13 years.
Okay. So what? So then you still need to call your wife for your damn sandwich. She should have said, oh, let me get your wife for you. Was she not home?
Maybe she wasn't. I think the wife
The fact of the matter is she wanted the closeness that he gave her. Call it what it is.
I think B's wife actually worked.
Call it what it is.
No.
Because you know right now, nobody can call 9 and say, hey, bring me a sandwich. She'd be like, let me,
Right.
Exactly. True. So then with the husband, hey, Bob, let's go hang out. And takes him to man to a park.
And he explains.
And tells him, hey, I'm lacking sex in my life. I hate my wife. I need a release. And what does the husband do? Mary Jane husband? Exactly. Releases him. So right now,
I don't care how much of a
basically
how much of a friend we are.
So basically, what he did was, this is the 70s.
Yeah.
Okay, they're Latter-day Saints family. So what they've already done, what he's did was, and before that, he was a carpenter. Remember, so he built a partition because Jane and her sister shared a bedroom.
Well, not just a partition. He built a full wall.
So he was like, y'all are too old to staying in the same room. And they allowed this man to put a partition in their daughter's room.
You keep saying partition. No,
they gave him full access to their family.
Wall. Like, I don't.
Where he would sneak in and spend time with Jane.
Yeah.
So now he has information on Mary, whatever her name is, and Bob.
And Bob.
So now he's having an affair.
Yeah.
He's having an affair with the wife and the husband.
All to get the daughter.
All to get to the daughter.
Oh, man.
Continue.
I mean.
It's some bullshit, okay?
So he takes the daughter in plain daylight. Like, comes over. Like, I remember this distinctively. He says he was going to take her to to the stables.
Just her.
Mary Ann says, well, we can't. She's got piano practice, and it's a school night. And he was like, well, I could just pick her up from piano practice and take her and then bring her home. And they say, okay.
Listen. Let me tell you something. They were both infatuated with that man. That's why they let them have access to her. And they tell you, we just noticed. They noticed a long time ago. So before the whole affair started, they noticed he had an unhealthy thing towards Jan. But they continue to let it keep going. Okay, he was nice, and he was this, and he was that. Hey, I'm sorry, but to me, they kind of handed her over.
Well, I mean...
Then, no. This is what pissed me off. This is what made me mad about it. So, they go to the stables. Okay, I'll get her tomorrow from piano practice. We'll go to the stables, just him and her. What person allows one grown man to only spend time with my one daughter? I got 4 kids. You got your own kids as well. That's 1. 2, okay, have her back before dinner, before Bob gets home.
They don't get back.
4 days later, they call the FBI.
Well, no, they called... That Saturday, it was closed.
Okay. 4 days later, they called the FBI on a Saturday.
No, that was 2 days later.
It was 3 days later.
Because they left on a Thursday.
It was 3 days later.
Because they called.
All I know is
they left a Thursday.
They didn't call immediately. It was days later.
I say they always say wait 24 hours. So they did the 24 hours, and that would have been the Friday. Mm-hmm. I think they called Saturday, and that's when they said the office was closed.
It was days they waited to call. I'm telling you, it was not like.
No, I just watched it before here.
Oh, yeah, so did I.
Right. So they called.
It wasn't
Saturday.
48 hours though. It was like at least 72. I'm telling you.
They called Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
They said it was closed. They didn't actually get to call back to the FBI till that Monday.
And they didn't want to call back, so they didn't call back. Remember? Because she was like, I don't want to get them involved. I don't want to make it a big deal.
Right.
Your child is gone. It was 5 days. 5 days when they finally called.
But, and again, like I said, as much as mad you can be about them, this is less about them than about Bob than B.
I'm just saying that bothered me. It just bothered me. But before we go any further, though,
go ahead.
This portion of the show is sponsored by Houston Housewives of Finance. Did you know that only 4 states in the United States offer financial education? 33% or more than 77 million of Americans don't pay their bills on time. 39% of Americans carry credit card debt month to month, and 39% of adults say they don't have enough savings. Don't become one of those statistics. Let Houston Housewives of Finance advise you on increasing your cash flow and becoming your own money manager by scheduling your complimentary personal financial strategy. Contact Houston Housewives of Finance today at 844-700-4463 or email us at info@HoustonHousewives of finance.com. Ask how you can participate in a complimentary financial literacy workshop near you. Houston Housewives of Finance are your new faces of new age financial services. I'm gonna beat you up. You don't be missing in plain sight. Keep harassing me. I don't think anyone's going to, you know what? I can't stand you.
It's okay.
But no, I know it's more about him. It's just I guess.
Because like I said, when you know where I always, like, we had this discussion one time in, I remember this in college. He says a manipulator is like water. Mm. You can be as strong as a rock, but a rock still has cracks in it.
Yeah.
That water's going to get in it. Once it gets in, that's it.
And that's what I'm saying. He played.
He saw exactly.
He knew what to do to get what he wanted with each individual. I'm trying to figure out, where was his wife?
He done had her manipulated. That's
That's true. It's just really bothered me. I was just.
He had her. You gotta remember, he was sentenced to a mental institute for what, 3 years, and got out 45 days later.
Yeah.
That's manipulation out the ass.
What bothered me, what killed me, wasn't how he played on, because it wouldn't work now. I don't think for kids, because kids are just way too mature. How he used the whole "it's aliens" and the tapes. Yeah. And the guy, he said, the psychiatrist said I gotta lay next to her. And you know that I gotta lay next to her and just, cure myself. Right. Okay, go right ahead. What?
Exactly. So I mean, he was a master.
Did you get the feeling though from watching documentary that the mom and dad was still leaving things out?
What do you mean? I have a feeling that
that there was a lot more going on than what, because the way they got them to sign the affidavit to say, we don't want to press charges, nothing happened, and the FBI was like, are you kidding me? It was like they didn't want the world to know the affairs he was having with both of them. So the wife pulled him aside. Remember, she pulled Bob aside and said, hey, if you don't sign the affidavit, we're going to go forward what happened.
Right.
And they signed, and it still came out anyway.
Right.
But I just feel there was a lot more going on
than
than what was being said.
I think a lot of that, what was going on, was being said. I think they probably just didn't go into true detail. I think they gave us the gist of it.
I think the wife had affairs before, and I think the husband had already had his affairs. I think he stepped out in that way before.
I don't think the wife has, because for her to fall back into the same affair with him,
I think they both have had indiscretions, but I think that husband has had some things happen.
To me, I can't say that they, at least not her, because she was too excited to do it again after the first time. If this was something
they told him, stay away from this man.
Right.
And they didn't.
And she couldn't, because she was so excited about that feeling. That's why I don't think she's ever done it before.
That's true. I can see what she's like. Because she was like, I thought about it every day afterwards. The feeling, yeah.
Right. This was new to her.
Because your husband is gay and he was not able to fulfill you. I'm not trying to be funny, but let's call it what it is.
Yeah.
He was gay. Bye. He was gay and
that's
he was homosexual.
To another show.
And that's what happened.
Yeah.
And so he was not fulfilling. And for him to say, I broke my vow. So you've been battling for a long time. And I think he broke his vow before. I think he's broke his vow before.
I don't know about that. I think, like I said, this was one of those guys that manipulated himself to appeal to every person.
But what I'm saying when you watch the Fyre Festival and when you hear everyone's testimony about how this guy pretty much did not come through with anything.
Yeah.
And you watch, of course, Abducted in Plain Sight, 2 different cases, but both of them were so in their own their own way, just like, how are you even doing what you're doing?
With the Fyre Festival, he was just doing it and playing up people's need to be part of that crowd.
That was his own thing. Because, how he got into that was he created this whole VIP card access. He moved to New York and was like, how do you know where to go, what to do? So he wanted to be part of that lifestyle. Right. So he used to actually host small little parties. He used to have
he wanted to be, things. But he knew people, especially in the days of our current times, people want to be a part of it.
Yeah, he played off of that.
He played off
That's
of
why
that.
A lot of people are not mad about those kids who got because they had the access and the money.
He played it. I mean, Instagram's the perfect instrument for that, and Twitter.
Absolutely, and that's how he marketed it.
Now with Abducted in Plain Sight, he did the one thing that any comment says you have to do in order to achieve the con: trust.
Yeah,
and he got it.
I believe he gained their trust, but he also he's very observant in what their dynamic was.
Oh yeah, but he paid attention to their body language too.
And I think if he noticed that the bond was too strong, he would have never pursued that particular family.
Well, remember there was other families he's tried that before.
Yeah,
and they was like, okay, we're done with them.
Exactly. But
so he may not be that observant. He may just test.
Yeah.
I mean.
Yeah, that's true.
Because what they say,
they gave him full access to their lives and their kids.
There was other families in that town by itself. Now it happened in other towns too. But in that town by itself, there was other families he tried that with that it didn't get this far. It
didn't get that far.
So
and his brother really bothered me. It reminded me of the whole, which I did not watch the R. Kelly thing whatsoever. But how the brother was like, I've always known.
He was the sick.
And then I think in the documentary with Abducted in Plain Sight, he tried to say he was abused as a child or whatever it was. But the brother, just like R. Kelly, like, I always known he had a problem. I'm like, okay. Okay. But I mean.
But it was, I will say the brother did right by getting them back into the U.S.
He did. No. He did the right thing. He called and like, this is what, I'm letting you know what he's saying. Basically, I'm letting you know what he's saying. And then like, I need to get him back. Right. And then get the wiretaps going because he knew fully well if I don't get him back,
they'll never see their daughter again.
no, I'm probably gonna be held liable because he calls me. You don't know whose phone tapped at that time.
True.
You know, people always think family, they had to call you, so you have to know something. But documentary wise, Netflix has some really good documentaries.
They do.
And once you watch one good one, they're really good at recommending other ones. So.
I meant to watch the Sam Cooke with the 2 killings of Sam Cooke.
Yeah.
So I'll probably watch that tonight or tomorrow. Probably tomorrow since it's Valentine's Day, and I do not want to be out. We don't celebrate Valentine's Day at all.
Okay.
It's just how I feel. But don't let that perturb you from the Patreon exclusive that will be dropping.
Huh? What happened? What'd I do?
We're going to cook some collard greens, some ham hocks for an older lady with her leg cut off.
Abducted in plain sight. If you end up missing, I'm just telling the world. So this week that came out was Alita. I need to go see that this weekend.
Yeah.
And
that's also a Boomerang show we're not watching.
We're not watching that.
You can
I'm
tell
sorry.
us about it.
Yeah. Leave a comment. Tell us how it goes.
But we do have a trailer.
Yes. I'm excited about this.
It looks. I was nervous. I still want to see the face.
Yeah.
The full doll, but the trailer is for the new redone remake of Child's Play.
Yeah. I don't mind remakes of some of the horror movies like that because
I don't mind remakes of B movies.
Yeah,
and
because
movies.
And with Child's Play, they make so many Child's Plays.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I'm not really mad about it. So,
but just like there's the remake for Pet Cemetery.
But that looks good though.
It already turned me off just with the trailer because of one thing.
Oh Jesus! Everything turns you off.
Well, no, because it doesn't make sense.
I like her as an actress.
Is that girl from Parks and Rec?
It is. I can never remember her name. Aubrey something back in never. Yeah. Producer of It.
No, I think she's Audrey. It was one of those, Aubrey or Audrey.
It looks like what they're doing with this particular Child's Play is
he's not just killing the family.
No, it's like he's taking over through all the dolls and taking over the whole entire town. He's using some type of technology. Like they're playing on the way technology is right now.
Oh, well, we don't know. We got to see. I mean, he may be living in all the dolls.
That's what I'm saying.
So,
like, because the way they did it at the beginning, the factory looks like it's a microchip or some kind of Bluetooth thing.
Yeah, so, I mean.
So, yeah.
Then this was just a teaser trailer. This wasn't a full trailer. Yeah. So, I'm looking forward to it. The reason I said the Pet Cemetery thing is I don't care for jump scares.
Okay.
I want actual scary. You know, in the 90s, the jump scare became the popular thing with Scream and
That's true.
Final Destination.
I think it's gonna be. I don't think it's gonna be bad though.
It's one part in the trailer, and I'm like, they're on the road, they're looking at the house, and then the truck just runs by. I'm like, I don't know how y'all hearing this, but you can hear a truck down the street.
Now, let me in their defense. You know,
and out in the country, you can hear it even better.
That's true, but a lot of times, you're not paying attention because you're hearing cars, but it may have sounded really close. When you're not paying attention, you're looking at the house, there's where we're gonna be staying, this is cool, and you're looking around. Then all of a sudden, a big 18-wheeler. Yeah, I'll jump today on the way here.
Yeah, but like I said, they're in the country, and it's not like it's not like a car. You're gonna hear a truck coming down the road.
True.
In the country.
True.
Like in the country, you can hear cars. Like my parents stay in North Mississippi. They can hear when we get off the highway to come to their house, and that's still 10 minutes before we get to the house. But you can hear it. A 18-wheeler.
I think it's gonna be good though.
Think about this.
I think it's gonna be good.
And I don't know, some of y'all can attest to this. There's maybe someone in that neighborhood who had an 18-wheeler. You knew when he cranked up his truck, no matter where you was at.
That's true. That's true. I think it's going to be okay, though.
Like I said, I just get rid of that scene.
I'm liking the cast that I'm seeing so far.
Right. I am, too.
I think it's going to be okay.
Just get rid of that scene.
I think it's going to be okay.
That whole little...
This month has some really good movies coming out.
I'm like,
I think it's going to be okay.
And then it's funny because you can hear him as he passes, and he's further down the road, but you couldn't hear him coming up.
just think we weren't paying attention. Just let them make it for one thing. Don't be so hard. Don't be so hard.
Like I said, the good stuff doesn't really rely on jump scares like that.
We'll see. We'll see. Okay?
It was good. I liked it.
And it had some jump scares.
But it made sense for its jump scares.
I'm telling you, it's going to make sense in this, too.
Trucks don't.
Get off of that. It's a trailer. Get off of it.
Okay.
Thank you.
So hopefully it won't be in the movie.
It's going to be in the movie.
I hope not.
It's going to be in the movie. I mean, you saw the trailer. It's going to be in the movie.
No, that doesn't always happen.
That's true. I agree with you. Oh, my God. I can't. People, I cannot stand him. He goes on my post and just says soul food for no reason. I can't believe we're not having this debate. So anyway,
we're not having a debate.
Anyway,
I'm just playing some music.
Anyway, so February.
It's a song for Mama.
I can't. I want to throw my bottle of water at you. That's a jam, boys and men. Hey. Anyway, I don't like you. I don't like it at all.
It's okay. It's okay.
So this week we had Alita come out, Battle Angel.
Right.
Fighting with My Family and Happy Death Day Part 2. So
I will probably watch Alita.
I'm definitely gonna watch Alita.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I've been hearing a lot of good things about it.
Yeah, so I think it's gonna be image wise beautiful.
I think so too. I was nervous about it, but the way they kept pushing it back, and that's obviously a big sign of reshoots.
Yeah, absolutely. But it's gonna be good. It's gonna be awesome. I'm gonna probably wait until the weekend.
Yeah.
It comes out tomorrow. I'm gonna let it die down a little bit.
I was going like Mondays because there's no one really at the movie theater on Monday. I'm gonna see Alita. I'm still rewatching Game of Thrones.
Yes.
I just finished season 3. I'm going into season 4.
Are you following the calendar track? People tell you, like somebody was saying, if you start now.
No, it was like a few weeks ago. If you start then, every single day you do an episode, you'll be ready for the show. No, I would sit up in one day and watch 4 episodes and then not watch it again until next week.
I'm going to start rewatching probably Monday.
Yeah, and it's hard to watch just one episode of Game of Thrones.
It's extremely hard.
It's easier to do with the first season. I will say second season is real hard.
Yeah.
Third season is hard. There's no way in hell you can do it in the fourth season.
No, you can't. You have to make yourself turn it off. You have to make yourself turn it off. I'm excited about it though.
And if some of y'all know, I do watch anime.
Yes, you do.
And there were some of the seasons that recently completed, and now that they completed, I'm going back to those animes and rewatching the whole series.
Cool.
So and that's Sword Art Online and Tokyo Ghoul. I'm going through those.
Cool beans.
So, that's going.
I'm going to catch up on movies.
Yeah.
Watch more. There's another documentary coming out. I can't remember the name of it. I hate it. It's on Hulu.
I also got to do some 80 movies with my wife because everybody clowned her about a post I did recently.
I'm sorry, but I was
surprised.
I was like,
Opposites attract.
Who are you?
Opposites attract.
Who are you?
She's not a big movie person. She's actually more music, and she loves to cook and garden. Like, she can be in the cabin without a television with no problem.
Mm-hmm.
So,
but I'm gonna catch up on movies. I'm gonna catch up on some reading. There's one more documentary. I'll probably talk about it next week or a week after. That's coming out on Hulu. Remember that story of that woman who was making her child sick and she killed her?
Yeah.
They made a documentary about it. They're making a movie now for Hulu. It's starring Patricia Arquette as the mom.
I don't know if I want to watch the movie. I'd rather just watch the doc.
The doc to me wasn't as great, but the movie is going to be really, really good.
Because it was Munchausen syndrome.
Yeah, because she was making her sick.
Yeah.
And then the daughter got tired of it and killed her.
Yeah.
I mean, she was making her ill.
Yeah.
So I think it'll be interesting to see.
So that's going to do it for us.
That's it. That's all we got.
Yeah.
That's all we got.
Make sure you check on Patreon. We're going to talk with some Humperdinck and see why.
Patreon exclusive members are going to get some really good stuff.
Right. Because you said my last marathon suggestion isn't on there.
I didn't see it. Because Jarvis made a great Patreon exclusive for our viewers.
It's a new segment for our Patreon.
And it's a marathon he wanted you to do for...
it was just a period.
Just a marathon period. And he's come back with another one
this week.
He's going to... And hopefully that'll be posted.
Right. Every 2 weeks on Patreon, there will be a different movie
I'll
marathon.
have some input this week.
Yes, you will.
I'll come in and do some Patreon exclusives for y'all pretty soon.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And this
Hopefully
is
it gets posted.
this is my segment. This is what I want to give you all on Patreon because I've been doing this.
He gives you homework. I'm not gonna give you homework.
This ain't homework. This is something to
He
do.
gives you homework.
When you don't want to deal with people in the outside world, you want to stay home and watch movies and order pizza.
Introvert at its best.
Or you want to use DoorDash, or it's just one of my preferred ones.
Yeah.
When you want to do that and just want to stay and watch movies, this is what these marathons are for.
Yeah.
So, new one's going to be dropping soon.
Yeah.
And we're out.
Bye. Thank y'all.